On the program today, we get to find out the motion that was moved in Parliament recently by Professor Geoffrey Lungwangwa. He says that the expiry date or duration of internet data in our country is very questionable. We also get into issues of the first ever National Economic Summit that was held in Livingston recently. It has ended, but what next? How would these issues be implemented? We also get to find out more economic news as well as business stories making rounds in our country. This is Business Day and my name is Judy Ngulube. Starting off, we get to our colleagues, the Zanis. What stories have they rounded up in regards to economic and business?
Nomba inonchete inchende mwati pira prampa mshika paka wamu. Nomba tulaya kuisa ko muletu twala. Eko muletu twala fwe balanda muletu twala kuisa kanshi mulete mwafika nawa kwa tenda lama. Fwe nchushi takuya ko mwingatu pera kwa nchende.
Charcoal traders at Kawama Market airing the grievances after the sale of a place they used to trade from by the Ndola City Council to private individuals. The men and women have been left with nowhere to trade from as they wonder where to go after the owners of the shops evict them from here. Those talked to by Zanis say the charcoal business is their main source of income, adding that once evicted, they will have no alternative trading place. For Ndola City Council, the decision is final as sanity has to prevail in all markets in the district. Council Public Relations Manager Tilyenji Mwanza says the move is part of the land audit which the local authority has embarked on in order to maximize its revenue.
It's one that we're trying to look at. All the markets are supposed to be put in a certain version, in where we have the fish sellers are supposed to be on their own, charcoal sellers are supposed to be on their own, those ones who deal with salaula. So we're supposed to have order in the market. And if you go actually to planning department, you'll see that there is actually a plan on how you're supposed to set up all your stores.
Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis, Indo.
Inspections help prevent accidents, injuries and illnesses, as well as to identify and record hazards for corrective action. Regular workplace inspections are an important part of the overall occupational health and safety program and management system. For this reason, Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board, WCFCB, has commenced an inspection of occupational health and safety with firms offering services in the mining sector in a joint operation with Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
This is an initial joint safety inspection which we are conducting in conjunction with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. We are on the roadmap to Vision Zero, which is a global campaign aimed at eliminating accidents at workplaces to zero by the year 2030. So we'll be having these routine inspections with the ministry at least 3 times in a quarter.
The objective of this is to appreciate the way safety is being practiced in workplaces with a view of attaining a Vision Zero. This is a program which has been launched in Zambia. So it's an ILO project, International Labour Organization, which is the parent body for all of us, especially those who are involved in occupational safety and health.
Some of the firms inspected were found to be conducting periodic worksite safety inspections as part of the traditional landscape of a comprehensive health and safety plan.
Before anyone can start up a task, they have to fill in a few risk assessment, identify the hazards and how they're going to control them. That is also highlighted on the fatality prevention commitments. Should you be found not abiding to this, you are gone. It's a summary dismissal. That's the
machine that you have actually just detects the number of bacteria. Okay. And then if we see that it's high on a particular, for instance, if it's a surface area, then we take the sample to ZAPS, Zambia.BUSINESS status, all the way to the sample. Then they'll send us back the results. So we do that for surfaces, for hands, and for food.
Shilika Chabalengula, Zanis News, Kalumbila District, North Western Province.
You are watching Business Day. We recently saw the close of the first ever National Economic Summit, which was put together by the Economics Association of Zambia. This saw captains of industry, think tanks, policymakers, all coming through together to make sure they are finding solutions to economic challenges and problems that Africa is facing as a continent. It also got the attention of our own Republican President, His Excellency Edgar Chagwa Lungu, as well as his colleague, Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, as well as former Tanzanian President Dr. Jakaya Kikwete. These three presidents and former president did grace this occasion. The two-day summit did talk about challenges and solutions, not only for Zambia, but for the African continent. The most important question after this landmark summit is what next? How will this be implemented? How will it be fused into the Zambian policies that are in existence currently? We spoke to the Economics Association of Zambia President, Dr. Lubinda Habazoka.
The main aim is for us to feed into policy and to ensure that there's implementation. So whatever is going to be discussed to our repertoires, we are going to record everything. Then we are going to start pushing as an organization to ensure that all this is implemented. We are going to do a monitoring and evaluation process so that the next summit next year, we're going to say, this is what we agreed on. These are the people that were responsible for the implementation of this. This is what has been achieved so far. Why certain things haven't been achieved, this is the reason, and how we can move forward. And it's very good that our Republican president has chosen to come the last day so that we can now present to him all the resolutions that I've made and what we want to achieve.
Okay. Thank you so much for still watching Business Day. Now, recently, Professor Geoffrey Lungwangwa moved a motion in Parliament addressing the issue of expiry date, or rather the duration of internet data usage that is currently being provided by various mobile service providers in our country. He says that this promotion or some of these services are almost an exploitation of the various subscribers that are clients to these mobile service providers. Morning Live, a magazine program that is aired on TV2, the Pulse of Television, hosted various stakeholders, and this is what they had to say.
You may be aware, I think today almost every household has got a smartphone, has got an internet gadget, a laptop, a computer. Journalists yourselves, you are culprits. You've got more than 2 or 3 gadgets with you, tablets, laptops, and everything on you, which makes you to be internet accessing internet every time. Now, look at this. There are people out there in the villages that have got smartphones or just maybe small normal phones that go to the internet, but they cannot sustain themselves online because of the expiry of the internet bundles. Internet bundles cost differently. They one for 2 kwacha, one for 5 kwacha, and so on and so forth. There are different packages and plans there that are there. It depends on what you can afford. So now, if we talk about the expiry of the internet, the other phase that I'll talk about is the job creation aspect of it. Okay, it will create jobs for many ICT professionals out there like the society unemployed. How? The internet, when it gets loaded, flocked with too many users because of the ban on the expiry of the internet, it will spark a speed degradation on the internet. So you want to browse, you click something, it takes time to load. That will now compel the service providers to invest more in machinery and equipment for internet provision. to make us, the subscribers and the consumers, safe and not complain, because complaints will come. Complaints are going to come. Internet is reduced because those that are not able to sustain themselves for 1 week, 1 month, and all that will now be all over accessing the internet. So if, for example, I'll give you an example of a 2-liter container.
Yes.
You cannot force 5 liters water in it, isn't it?
No.
You can't. It's impossible. But now, if you like maybe get something bigger, you can even put more than 5 liters of water in it. Problems create opportunities. That's how this life is. Okay? When you die, the coffin maker will make money by selling coffin to you. It's a problem, okay? There's money for him because you've died. When you're sick, you go to the hospital.
Can you?
Okay? You go to the hospital because you're sick. You
Well,
go
let
to
me
the
be sick,
drugstore.
not dead. Let me just
Go
be
to the
sick.
drugstore because you've got a headache or something, you buy drugs for you to get better. That's a problem, which creates opportunities. This problem of internet expiry has created opportunities for service providers, okay, on that side. They're making so much money, business has been sustainable, and everything is, rosy for them, okay? And then the workforce has not been as sufficient. That's why we've got too many ICT people like ourselves and others out of the society unemployed, looking for employment. Now, when this now havoc, which we're calling havoc, comes in the picture, the IT people that are out there who have seen opportunities from this will wake up and say, okay, very soon I might be called for a job opportunity, because when now these systems get locked, they are systems, they are meant to handle a number of subscribers at a minute. Okay, in a minute. If you you load too many of them, it will fail to sustain them. Now there comes what is called jitter. So now going back to the CIA triad, availability becomes the problem. Then internet, when it gets too much loaded with too many users, cybercrime becomes a problem again, because everyone will be doing this, selling drugs, doing what and what, uploading porn and all those things on the internet, bullying their friends on the internet. So that's the other side. So the havoc itself, it will create employment in such a way that when the machineries now fail to sustain the number of subscribers at this minute, they will invest more. When they invest more into it, it will become expensive, because right now we can afford 24-hour bundles. 2 days, whatever, 1 week and 1 month and all that, according to what my pocket can manage. So now now it's open-ended, it will be expensive, because if you can't afford to buy 1 month bundle, you go for a 1 week or 24 hours. So the people out there in the village, in the rural setting, that are not able to afford a 1 month or so bundles, who have been managing only a 24-hour bundle, will now have limits on how long they can stay on the internet, because a bundle will be expensive for them to afford. Then it will cut off some parts of the economy from accessing the internet. Internet, as you know, it's an enabler. Okay, it has brought all of us together. People have found marriages, partners, and their businesses have grown on the internet itself, Facebook and WhatsApp and all that. So now, if some people are marginalized from being online, it means now that the number of subscribers on the internet at a particular time will be reduced, which will now reduce revenue for the service provider, one, and then because that one who would afford to buy a 24-hour bundle is not able to manage, so they will be offline. Then now businesses, they will be a little bit going down. You will manage the time that you want to spend on the internet. No one is going to restrict you to panic because it's about to expire. Okay, because if it's about to expire, maybe I've got 2 hours to go, I'll go and download this, do this, watch movies, go on YouTube and all that, just to deplete the bundle.
So at this point, you're agreeing with Professor Lungwang, who's saying people rush now. Even if you said I'll download that movie tomorrow, let me download it this hour, because then for
fear of losing out the bundle. Like I think like he said, when the bundle expires, you've got 2 GB. It's that you're seeing it, but you can't access it. 2 minutes later, it will disappear. It goes where? Back. Then again, you rebuy it next time you want to access the bundle. So it just goes round circles. The same thing that you failed to deplete using, comes back to you again. You've bought it. That's
so in essence, it is becoming expensive.
So it's like I said, it's both sides. It looks at both sides.
Okay, let's talk about a comparison situation here. Other countries, how are they managing their data compared to us?
Okay, internet in Zambia. I can say.
Are we truly one of the most expensive?
One of the cheapest, actually. Oh. It's one of the cheapest. Even in South Africa, it's expensive. Zimbabwe is very expensive. Okay, it's very expensive. That's why in some countries they have controls. They have controls like during elections. A journalist, you know that some countries they switch off data, no access to the internet, nothing, maybe for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. That happens in most other countries, and that's also measures of how they can manage the internet. Internet expiration. It's not only happening in Zambia. Even in other countries, they also have this. Because if I say these ISPs that we have, they're also in other countries. So they have the same plans and packages for all the citizens of the countries they serve, wherever they exist. So the means of controlling this only comes in maybe with measures that they put in place. Availability, of course, of the internet itself is one of them, and they also attach some other conditionalities. One thing about sharing a bundle: if you've got 3 days to the expiration of your bundle, you share with me. I also have 3 days before it expires. Yes, it expires. It's a good thing to share bundles. So if we cannot share bundles that we have, then then it's not a fair move on us, the people. And I think that's why now ISPs now should come in and try to make it fair, so that at least we can share the bundles. Even if such a bundle which you can't share, if you can also maybe be shared amongst ourselves, at least to share, maybe give some to you, some to Brian, so at least I will not be panicking to finish the bundle alone. It will be a good move. The best move, I think, is what the minister, the MP has recommended. It's a good thing for us citizens. We are going to enjoy this, and I think the only thing that I would tell the people out there is do not abuse the internet, even if it's now becoming limitless. It won't expire. Don't abuse it, because when you abuse it, you'll be a cyber criminal. You will do something that you didn't intend to do on the internet, because limiting it has been managing somehow the behavior of people on the internet. So from a cybersecurity perspective, my advice to you, Judy, and others is that let not people abuse the internet. Let them be responsible on the internet and use it for productive purposes. If you've got a business, grow your business. If you've got a family, communicate with them. Telegram days and all those, they are gone. Now it's one click, the message reaches you, and everything happens.
So from face value, when you just hear this proposal, it sounds good, because people think that it will mean that when you buy bundles, they'll not expire. So, for example, one of the networks, you can buy 4 GB at 25 kwacha for 7 days. So when you hear this, proposal, you may think that you still buy 4 GB at 25 kwacha, and it will not have expiry date. That's what it sounds. But the contrary, it won't be like that. No, the way it is when you're in business, you have different categories of customers. So like these internet providers, they have designed different products, because they have realized to say that if you just design one product, it means that other customers are going to suffer. I'll give you an example of you find that you have a 25 kg, you have a 10 kg, and you have even a 2.5 kg. Because you find that those who can manage to buy a 2.5 kg probably cannot manage to buy a 25 kg. And since like in Zambia, the poverty levels or low income earners, they're in big numbers, you find that they're able to buy in large volumes the amount of milk, though they're buying in small quantities. So what it means is that these internet providers, they realized to say that their bundles were seemingly expensive. So they designed products such that even someone with a 2 kwacha can buy something. And as a result, they have catered for everyone. And there are different internet plans. You have, in some cases, 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and 365. And you find that the longer the period, the more expensive it comes. And the shorter the period, you find that you're going to have a lot of bundles at a cheaper price. So if this proposal is implemented, It means that we are going to do away with all these periods I've mentioned up to maybe 365. We're going to do away with this. And the bundles will be very expensive. Like the example which I've given, say that in 25 kwacha you buy the 4 GB for 7 days. So when this is implemented, you are no longer going to buy 4 GB at 25 kwacha, no. What it means is that for you to buy the same amount of bundles, probably you need to spend over 150 kwacha. So it's not manageable. So I'm urging the members of parliament to really look at this issue. Because as I said, from face value, it sounds, very interesting, but the effect is going to be great. And we stand at a risk of, having it being reversed. And when we look at, I was looking at the report that was done by the Cable. There's a company called Cable in the UK. They did the research. Yeah, so it can be found on cable.co.uk. So they did a report. They compared how countries across the world, charge the internet bundles. So they were looking at 1 GB. How much does it cost? And you'd be interested to note that Zambia actually is one of the cheapest. It is ranked number 46. And the average cost is $2.25, which is about 26 kwacha then. And then we find that the most expensive, of course, is Zimbabwe, which is about $75 to buy 1 GB. So we're not that bad. We're competing. Even USA is more expensive than us. UK is more expensive than us. We're cheaper.
That story there just wraps up our business day for today. Thank you so much for having stayed with us. Join us next week, Thursday, same time, for more economic, business, and entrepreneurship news. On behalf of the entire production crew, my name is Judy Ngulube.